two beastly performing fragrances with super high quality from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige, Aariz Intense and Aariz L'Absolu. Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. It's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content, and as I said in the opening of this video, today I have two fragrances lined up from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige in the Aariz line. Aariz Intense and Aariz L'Absolu. And I'm going to give you my full review of those two scents today. Now, I keep exploring more and more fragrances from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige, and I keep getting surprised by the quality, the performance, and generally the overall value for money that you get out of this brand. Now, I'm going to start today's video by taking a closer look at Aariz L'Absolu. Now, one thing that the Aariz line have in common from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige is their luxurious presentation and, you know, the overall packaging and everything that you get in return for your money. This particular box here is the one from Aariz L'Absolu. As you can see, it has this dual colored finish. Some parts are black, some parts are in this sort of a gray color. In order to get to the actual box and to open it up, you need first to take out this sleeve. And then you're getting to the actual bottle box, and in order to open it up you need to pull those two parts apart and the bottle sits inside. Now the actual cover of the box has magnetic edges, which is a really nice touch, and all around, you know, the whole packaging is really impressive and luxurious. And this is a slightly closer look at the bottle itself. It comes again in this dual color finish. Most of it is in this grayish color. Now, one thing, this bottle design is the same across the whole Aariz line, and one interesting part and important part is the fact that the cap is metallic and it has a secure click. The design is interesting, looks kind of Middle Eastern, and the quality definitely is very high. Now, let's talk about the scent of Aariz L'Absolu. Something that I didn't mention earlier, this fragrance is a clone of BDK's Perfumes Velvet Tonka. Now keep in mind that it's been a while since I've tried Velvet Tonka for the last time, so I'm not going to do a full comparison scent-wise between this and the original fragrance, but I can definitely tell you that this reminds me of what I remember the original smelling. Another great thing about the whole Aariz line from Arabiyat Prestige is the fact that all fragrances in this line have a pressurized sprayer. As you can see, it works absolutely fantastic. And the scent itself, this is a very interesting, sweet and powdery fragrance. Opens up with a very strong almond note, which doesn't feel bitter or sour. It feels more like a powdery type of almond note. There's a bit of orange blossom in here, a bit of rose. Both those notes give this one a sort of a slightly floral and airy touch. And there's definitely a lot of vanillic sweetness with a Velvet Tonka. It opens up with Aariz L'Absolu, excuse me. It opens up a very sweet and at the same time a very powdery. And it's a nice opening that may lean a little bit to the feminine side for some people, although this is marketed as a unisex fragrance. What happens on the dry down is that this becomes more sweet. It loses a bit of the powderness. The dry down is more like a mix of the almond note, of a vanilla note, and also there's a tonka bean note on the dry down in here. Maybe some oud somewhere in the background, and also this has a hint of tobacco, although the official note breakdown of this fragrance doesn't have a tobacco note, but the original one has, and I pick up a hint of a tobacco note on the dry down. It's a very sweet, slightly powdery fragrance on the dry down, more powdery in the opening with a bit of a floral touch, and all around smells very nice and of a very high quality. When it comes to how close this fragrance is to the original, as I said, it's been a while since I've tried the original. I'm not super familiar with that, but definitely the first time I smelled you know, Aariz L'Absolu, it definitely reminded me of what I remember the original one smelling, and so it's probably quite close. Performance wise, this is a very strong fragrance. I've been constantly getting at least 9 to 10 hours of performance out of this fragrance, and I'm talking about longevity on skin. I'm not going to even mention you know, how long this lasts on actual clothes. In fact, over 10 hours, but I'm not going to say going to hype up the performance that much. Definitely this will give you at least 8 to 9, maybe even over 9 hours of longevity on skin. And another area where this definitely shines is the projection. For me personally, this has been pretty beastly when it comes to projection. Projects quite strong for 2, even maybe up to 3 hours if you put a little bit more sprays on. So definitely performance wise, this is a pretty beastly, a very strong fragrance. Price wise, now here's the area where I'm not a huge fan of Arabiyat Prestige fragrances, and that's because they're a little bit more expensive. Around here in Europe, this tends to cost somewhere between 50 to 60 euros, which makes it brings it almost in the territory of designer fragrance pricing, but at least you're getting great quality in return and great performance. And versatility wise, definitely something that I consider more appropriate for the colder months of the year. Perfectly unisex in my opinion, although some people may find it leaning a little bit to the feminine side. And it's pretty much an all-day fragrance. You can wear it through the day, you can wear it through the night. So in my opinion, it's quite a versatile cold weather scent. And now let's move on to the second one mentioned in today's video, which is Aariz Intense. This is the bottle design, exactly the same design but different color combination. Here you have black and golden colors. Again, you have the same metallic cap, the same interesting design, and the same quality that you get with all the rest of the Aariz fragrances. Aariz Intense is a clone of none other than Kilian's Angel Share. And this is one of the best clones of Angel Share that you can get, especially when it comes to quality and performance. This is top notch. It has a few minor differences compared to the original scent, which I'm going to talk about in a second. First of all, let me show you the sprayer in action again. Again, pressurized sprayer with fantastic distribution. And the scent itself smells very similar to Angel Share, but there are a few minor differences. First of all, I think that this has a slightly less pronounced boozy note, although this is one of those clones that get the boozy note almost completely spot on, but this still feels like a hint less boozy compared to Angel Share. Also feels slightly less sweet and a little bit more spicy in the opening. But other than that, smelling very similar to Angel Share. You're getting that boozy gourmand scent that has quite a lot of vanillic ambery sweetness, the praline, the spices, the boozy note. It smells absolutely fantastic in the air and super close to Angel Share. And I'm talking about those differences, but they're noticeable only up close. In the air, this smells pretty much identical to Angel Share in the opening. On the dry down, this again has a few smaller differences. Maybe this feels a little bit more woody, still feels slightly less sweet and a little bit more spicy than the original fragrance. But again, it's an absolutely fantastic fragrance that on the dry down becomes a little bit more woody, still a bit spicy, quite sweet, and you still carry on some of those boozy cognac vibes from the opening. And all around, this smells very nice. When it comes to how close this is to the original, it's super close. In the air, for most people, will probably smell identical, but again, feels a little bit more spicy in the opening, slightly less sweet and less boozy, and then on the dry down smells a little bit more woody, still a little bit more spicy and slightly less sweet compared to the original, but I'm talking about very small differences. When it comes to performance, Aariz Intense is a very strong fragrance, probably slightly less strong compared to the other one in here, but this still gives me at least 8 to 9 hours of performance on skin with very good projection in the first hour and a half up to 2 hours. Maybe slightly less projecting than the original one and slightly less projecting than Aariz L'Absolu, but still we're talking about a very strong fragrance, and I have absolutely no issues with the performance of Aariz Intense. Price wise, again, pretty much a similar price, somewhere between 50 to 60 euros, which makes it a little bit more expensive, but again, at least you're getting superb quality and superb performance in return. And versatility wise, this one is definitely a cold weather scent. I cannot imagine wearing Angel Share in the midst of summer, but in cold weather this works absolutely fantastic. It's perfectly unisex. This one definitely perfectly unisex. In my opinion, this is more of a nighttime scent, but you can definitely rock this one through the day as well. And again, it's a very nice cold weather fragrance. And at the end, a few final words about the two fragrances featured in today's video, Aariz Intense and Aariz L'Absolu. As I said, I keep exploring more and more fragrances from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige, and I keep getting impressed by the quality and the performance of all of them. Yes, they are a little bit more pricey, but at least you're getting fantastic quality and performance in return. This is definitely a very underrated brand that needs more attention, and I'm pretty sure that in the upcoming months, more people will pick up on the on the quality and what you get in return for your money when it comes to Arabiyat Prestige fragrances, and this brand will get more recognition, and it definitely deserves it. And so guys, in today's video I reviewed two superb fragrances from the brand of Arabiyat Prestige: Aariz L'Absolu and Aariz Intense. I hope that you found this video interesting or helpful. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me tomorrow for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.